We are the Conscious Evolution, and this is the Church of Love. I am your divinely guided host, Dana, and I guess we shall talk. How's everybody doing? Oh man, that's right. Daggone it. I had it put at 555 and I turned around and it came on at 6. Daggone it. See, I did that on purpose because when I looked it up, 555 jumped out. And what's going on relates to the 555 thing. So therefore, I ended up 5 minutes late. So, uh, if you're still here, yes, you're still here. I'm so sorry, man. Man, I'm glad you said that because I was all happy earlier. I'm like going through to set a time for this, and it said, it just 555 popped up, and I'm like, hey, man, that's that number of change, and I'm about to like jump off a cliff guided by angels. Well, it's an analogy, you know, something I see in my head. But anyways, I'm about to make a big change, so uh, yeah, I went ahead and put that in as a time, and then I'm sitting here like watching the time go by, 5-5, 6, 5-7. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go live here at 6. Yep, I forgot. Sorry, y'all. It's been an interesting day. Let me see something here. Praying for great fellowship, like what in general, man? Because there's some people that I'm linked to here on YouTube, and I've been talking about building communities. One of them's been out for the last few years trying to do the same kind of thing I had in mind. And then he got a hold of another person I know on YouTube, did a video about what he found. Then I ended up calling him. Then I told a couple other friends, and I'm like, this is going to be interesting. I tapped the bell. See, I put the thing on for, what do you call that? There's a little thing on here, a reminder. But for some reason, I turn on the reminder and it never reminds me of anything. I don't know. Kind of weird. Yeah, I gotta fix around some of this stuff. The last two live feeds, nobody could even hear me on this because my computer was trying to pick up the microphone in that thing. But the only way that will pick me up good is if I stick it in my face because I just got it from somebody and it's an older one and I don't have a driver for it. And I haven't attempted to look up one. I don't know, man. Could be where I've turned off some notifications. So try turning off some notifications for stuff like Facebook, man. It always wants to beep, no matter if I turn things on or off. So I just shut Facebook down and make sure it's not on when I go live. This trips me out every time I get on here and try and go into a discussion. I have people. It's like you're too loud. I can't hear you. It seems like my whole discussions go right back to this microphone. I know everybody's got different devices and hears me different, but if I go up there and start adjusting all this stuff again, it took me like 10 minutes to get this all set up. Then now somebody else is going to come back and tell me they can't hear. It's like for 3 days, I ain't been able to do a proper live feed because it's like, we can hear you, we can't hear you, we can hear you, we can't hear you. So hold on a second. People are not realizing to do this, I have to set this mic really hot and then I got to shut down my air conditioner and sit here on the third floor and sweat because I guess it picks that up in the background. So give me a second. I got to turn the AC off. Now, can you hear me all right? Yeah, I've had to pull two live feeds because that's all my live feed amounted to is people saying they can't hear me or whatever the case was. I've been trying to get out a serious message too, telling a lot of people that I know, uh, as far as this video and this call that was put out, um, about this whole little community project. Well, I'm figuring out my way. It looks like to Missouri from Michigan. Uh, it's kind of weird because I still have to try to get my license back, and right now there's like a backup at the Secretary of State because this whole mass bunch of crap. So I don't know, man. I might actually just get a ride out there with what I need to live, I guess, and figure out a camper or something to stay in when I get there until we get more stuff built. Got a big farm area down out there. You know, somebody's got, like I said, this one person that's been going around for last few years looking for some kind of like community type of project like this. Um, he found somebody, and they've already got a few people out there. So there's access to like 1,000 acres, and it's basically a community farm thing they're doing. But it's on a whole bunch of undeveloped farmland with one house, but it does come off a main road. Great potential. There's some buildings there, of course, because of it being a farm area. Some silos they just cleaned out. I tell you what, man, I can watch. I can. I've seen enough visions to have many people, and I see all this system like collapsing. Now I'm not talking into the world crazy stuff, but we done seen what happened when they did that whole shutdown. I mean, people couldn't even get toilet paper. It was ridiculous, you know. And I'm getting people that's even though I use a sign and a lot of people are really cool with my sign and stuff. I'm getting discrimination, man, because other people are mad because they have to wear these masks. But somebody's gonna breathe on somebody. So I'm like, I walked to the store today, had to walk back home just to get my mask. I go into a Walgreens the other day, and a woman in there got really, really, really bad with me and stuff. Wouldn't help out. And then when I went to leave, she said, "Have a nice day" to my friend, and I said, "Thank you. I will. You have a nice day." She said, "Not you," because my friend turned around and like, "What? You take back a have a nice day from somebody?" It was a cashier too. And that's what it was, man. Because when I walked in there, they'd said something. I showed them my sign, and she was rude with me ever the whole time after that. Well, I'm sorry. My sign says I have COPD, and if I put one of your dumb masks on, I pass out, hit my head, and then I sue everybody. Would you rather me do that? So, with that being said, I'm doing as I've been led to do. I've known there was going to be a time where this happened. All the sinks with the 33 all line up with this place, and I've that's why I did that video like a few days back. I felt that I was getting ready to go somewhere. I didn't know that 3 days later I'd find the place, and that I don't have to put down any money in a land. I just need to get the way there, and if I can get a camper, bonus, and I have something to temporarily live in. Well, let's see. We're 9 minutes in. Only two people here. We'll give a little bit, see if anybody shows up. What is it? It's like 6 o'clock on a Monday. Depending where you're at. Some people could still be at work. Some people could be eating dinner. Heard say. Well, that's cool. There's only two people or three likes, but I think one of the likes was my own, so it's not a monetized channel, so I can like my own stuff. I do need to go get my water real quick. How's everybody feeling? All right? Anything you want to talk about? Good day, bad day, weird energy, good energy, something interesting that might have happened? I don't know. Maybe I should have scheduled this for 8 o'clock instead. Indiana. I think well, I don't know. Actually, he might have went back to Ohio. My friend Russ used to live in Indiana. Then he went to Ohio. Then he went back to Indiana. I'm not sure where he's at now. I've only been there once. It was to pick up a cousin of mine that drove truck. And the area of Indiana we went into pretty much looked like northwestern Ohio. Same thing. Cornfields or other kind of agricultural fields. Hey, there we go. What's up? My Sky's 5D. Oh, you out on like a city bus or something? That's cool. Maybe we can find some money and put you on a different kind of bus, send you somewhere else. I got my mind working on stuff, man. That's funny. I'm actually 19 miles from Ohio. I'm like, I got stuck in Detroit when I come up here. Man, when I got out, I made sure I went south to where I was like 19 miles from the Ohio border. I'm closer to Ohio than I am like Detroit or any of those places. Well, that's a good way. That is an awesome place to be on your way too. Yeah, that'll make you feel a lot better. Yeah, man, I gotta re-get my card before I leave here. I can't go to a dispensary anymore, but we've got totally legal cannabis up here now, so anybody over 18 can have up to 12 plants in their house. Unless you live in an apartment like this, of course, because they make you sign stupid shit on a lease. They can't take away your state right for doing that, but what they can do is tell you, don't do anything that's against the federal law. Well, no matter how legal it is in our states, it's still against the federal law, so it kind of screws you. Oh, man. Well, hopefully your city buses ain't like the last city bus I was on, man. That Dexter bus in Detroit, oh my god, that thing was horrible. It was like, I don't know, man. I normally didn't watch the news, but for some reason, I turned on the news one day and they said they showed an accident with that Dexter bus, and I was like, "That's it. I'm not getting on it no more." I said the last time I got on it, the guy that was driving the bus, there was like, I don't know, mid to older age teenager kids, punk teenage kids, picking at him and saying stupid crap to him. The guy, I swear to God, he looked like he was doing about 45 miles an hour down a side street, and would like slam on the brakes. I had my nerves racked so much I got off like 3 stops early, in the ghetto, in Detroit, in the middle of the night. And I was like, I don't care. I'll walk back through the hood. This guy's going to kill us if I stay on this bus. Oh, man. Now, the bus system out here is completely different. It ain't nothing like that. This is kind of like rural, suburban, depending where you're at. I'm like right on the outside of everything. But still, I'm near a main road and nothing but stores going up and down. So all day, if I go that way, all I see is masked people. Masked people. I'm like, that's it. I've had enough. I'm starting to react weird to all this shit. I'm gonna go out there in the middle of nowhere where I can just look around and see nothing but big, huge skies, some trees in the distance, and fields. I go, yep, I don't see no mast here. Let's put up a tent and call this home. Yeah, man. Go there and help with the project. They're they're having a community farm that they're building up there. So they need help with the farm. The buildings for it. And if you're gonna live there, you got to put up some kind of domicile or put something there to live in on whatever. So it's pretty early on, but yeah, basically just go there and help start, with the farming and whatnot, and help people build things. And by the time all is said and done, I guess it'd be like a little, kind of like a little intentional farming community. We've already got one family down there and a few other people. You know, just getting away from all the crazy stuff. You get the right people combined, you can barter, trade things back and forth. It is farmland, so that can generate the money to pay the taxes for the land. You know, yeah, it's pretty much to go there, help with the project, have a little community that I can live with and call home, document the whole thing, and let people see how this stuff's done. In hopes that more people do stuff like this, because this stuff's already all over YouTube. You know, more and more people are getting in vans or RVs or getting land. A lot of people are pulling away from the cities, man. That's the way it used to be. That's what this country was founded on. Was a bunch of farmers that said, "That's it. We've had enough of your dumb taxes. Go back across your pond and get away from us. We call this our country now." But they've herded everybody into cities on purpose, so that way they can cut everything and go. I don't know why the stores still don't have things that they'd normally have. It's just a big game. They're controlling the supply chain. And if they herd you into the cities, they can do that. And then they can say, there's an invisible disease running around. Everybody wear a mask. By the way, stay home. Yeah, you'll lose your jobs. We'll give you a welfare check. Come on, man. It's like herding a bunch of animals in somewhere so that way they can get out their guns and euthanize. It's like stupid, you know? That's about what it feels like. That's why a lot of people were getting to this point. It wasn't something predicted, it was something written many, many years ago. There would come this time. Some people call it the time of revelations, where all shall be revealed. You even go into the native populations, they tell you at these times, those who go back to the land and back to the old ways are the ones who will get through all this change. The system is failing. It's going to fail. We've raised the vibration to source, God frequency. And in a world where you give nothing but purity and love, that's all that can exist. It's physics, man. All the stuff that does not vibrate within this higher frequency will fall away. So as it falls away, we're already building our communities. So it won't be like a crash of life in the world. As one system goes, another replaces it. So, yeah, that's what I'm going down there to do, is to help be part of it. In service to all. Even got that wrote on my Facebook thing. In service to all existence. I can't be no other way. That's the way I was created. It's the way I've developed, the way I've evolved. My whole life has always had some kind of service, even if it was just being a good friend that listened to people. an open heart. This whole entire incarnation, I've walked this earth with an open heart. There's many times where you could say it was hurt, but it just helped it to grow. I've seen a lot, nothing can shut it down. I knew this time would come. I have a couple other friends that believe the same thing. They knew they would be around at this time. And I've always pictured myself leaving what I once called my reality, basically doing like Christ, like the stories of many people, you know. Many people that have walked that path have done, and that's walk away from this. But I'm not walking away from this to hide in the woods. I'm walking away from this to help others create something divinely guided. There's nothing more beautiful than that, you know? Yeah, in service to all. There's no exclusions. Planet, the people, the animals, all of it. All is consciousness. How could I not be? If I was to hate anything or anyone, I'd be hating myself because we're all part of the one. So it just makes sense to me, you know? I find it interesting that I live in a world where that basic thought pattern can't be grasped by some because things have got to be complex in a certain way because this world tells them that. It's like, no, just look into your heart. It's pretty simple concepts. Your heart will always guide the way. If you look at the world through the eyes of the one, nobody has to tell you what's right or wrong or sin or anything. Because through living your life that way and looking at things that way, your heart always guides the way. So that's why I said earlier in a post, I'm going home. Home is right here. Spirit lives within the heart. That's home. And my heart is in service to all. That's why I'm going to take that flying leap and let the angels guide the way. And it seems to be the way is through the big skies of Missouri. Yep. Anybody interested, man, you know, you can go check out the videos. Um, Cowboy Church, Cowboy with the K. The little icon profile pic thing is just a gray circle with a white K. Got like 200 some subscribers. That's the channel. He can let you know more what they're doing there. And you can see the property. Yep. It'll guide you if you just let it and don't get in the way. And I know that very well. Not because I'm some kind of genius, but because, well, I've gotten in the way of it many times. That's why I'm smiling right now because it's so funny to think back on. It's like, I remember sitting there one day and going, you know what, I gotta quit that. Every time I just go with, my intuition, when my heart tells me it's never been wrong. But a lot of times this tricky, weird computer thing up here, it gets kind of glitchy, and I end up making screwy decisions, But it never happens when it comes from the heart space. Whatever that says, it's always right. But it's just funny to go through that many years of life and get to be 40 some years old before you finally grasp that concept. The concept. But hey, some people don't, man. Some people go through life and they never evolve anything past wherever they said to themselves, I'm cool here, you know? So if you just take it any point in your life and stop and start inner reflecting and start trying to evolve into a higher version of yourself, you're okay. I don't care if it's 2 years before death. At least give it a shot at some point. Oh, cool, man. So what'd you get, dude? If you don't mind me asking. I ain't been in a while. I used to, man, I tell you what, when I first walked into one of those, I literally was like a kid in a candy store. And when I was a kid, we still had candy stores. I mean, for real, penny, 5, 10, quarter candy was expensive candy. I think it was like hot tamales and all that stuff you got like for 10 cent. And hell, that was only like the early '80s. That wasn't even like the '70s. All right, come on, man. I'm curious. What'd you get? Dun, 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 dun. Sheeple. Dude, you know what? I just got told by my little brother today, and I'm not going to give his backstory or anything, but I can't believe of all people he said this. He told me that I needed to grow up and do something with it as far as changing my hair color back. Because I guess a guy that's almost 50 years old shouldn't be dyeing their hair blue. I'm like, where the hell do people get this crap from? I ain't the only one. My daughter's hair's dyed some kind of color, and her mom, my ex, or ex, whatever, she's got her hair dyed a color too. It's like, man, what a world. It's like people walk around and they go, okay, I'm told this, I'm told that. Okay, I accept it. I shall do. Are you all traveling around in a big black cube? Do you say things like we shall assimilate? Because I swear to you, it's reminding me of the Borg in Star Trek. I always go back to the Guar song. Um, let's see here. What is it? I think it's in a song called Slaughter Rama. But anyways, it says something about follow the herd, just another cow. Like, yep, I see that all over in this world. People just blindly following. And all you gotta do is hold up a piece of paper and say, hey, I just said I went to school for somewhere. I know this. Okay, we trust you. We'll vote for you too. I almost like want to walk around the world slapping people with books. It's like read a book, read a book, read a book, read a book. It's funny, man. I was talking to somebody about a week ago, and she played this song for me, and I swear to you, that's what the guy was talking about in there. It was funny. It was like a hip hop or rap thing, and he was telling people to read a book. I'm like, there we go. Thank you. Somebody put this into a song. For real. Read a book. And you don't even have to anymore. I mean, you can go here on YouTube, man, and somebody else will read you the book. And if it's a very popular book, you'll get different voices, so you can like pick your voice you want to read to you. You don't even have to read the damn book. I don't know. I think it's just crazy that some people don't want to learn. If I stopped learning, I don't think I'd want to be here anymore. What would there be to do if you just stopped learning things and you're like, okay, I'm smart enough as I am. I know everything I want to know. I don't want to learn nothing else. Oh my God, that makes me feel depressed just saying the last part of that. By the way, I don't mean that. I have to kind of make sure I put that in there. They do say the mind's like a tape recorder. I don't want my mind picking up on dumb shit like that. Oh man, what in the hell? I don't even know if I can pronounce what you just wrote there, dude. Some kind of like might be scary or something. I don't know what that is. Yeah, man, I just got weed in a jar. It doesn't even have a name. I asked the guy what it was, and he said, I don't know, man. I must have been high when they was doing it. He's like, we forgot to put a label, a label on it. It's like, oh, okay, mystery weed. I've had that plenty of times, and it's usually from somebody who was stoned that grew the weed. Yeah, they forgot to stick the little tag in there or whatever, or write on, put a piece of tape on the thing and write on it. I've done that. I've grown stuff, and in the end, it's like, now we got to do a smell and taste test to figure out which one it was. But it's pretty easy if it's your own stuff and you only got a few strains. You get used to them, so you can figure it out. Making some what? I gotta put my glasses back on. Ooh, salsa. That sounds good, man. I learned how to do that stuff with my last ex-wife and canning and jarring and all that stuff when I was living in West Virginia. It's cool. It's like preparation for this next part of my life because that's the stuff I'm gonna be doing. And go back to living off of the food that's grown on the land in which I live. Whew, that's nice. I mean, sure, I got plenty of grocery stores around here, but I'm tired of that crap. You know, dealing with whatever's there, and organic food's expensive. I was even thinking of telling them mice guys, or just talking to them, asking them, what all's been grown out there, and if there's areas where they've grown a lot of shit or used like GMO crap, Roundup, whatever. I know a good idea, man, but you have to check the ordinances to see what they're allowed to do. But grow industrial hemp, not the shit that you harvest for medicine, just industrial purpose. Because that hemp will literally pull all the metals, and shit up out of the ground that's in all that damn nasty fertilizer and stuff. And then it can be made into wood, plastics, paper, clothes. They make into everything. And of course, that's money income towards you know, their land or whatever, and it helped clean up the ground so that way the next stuff you put in, you don't have all that heavy metals and crap in the ground. Then you can just start fertilizing with shit and composting and doing all that stuff, which is kind of interesting too. I found you can make greenhouses, man, and go out there later and earlier in the year by composting around the greenhouse itself and partially in ground greenhouses. For like 4 years, man, I've been like studying all kind of shit. And for like 12 years in West Virginia, I was gardening, and I did everything from the same way they did there with heavy chemicals in the ground. Going to the farm supply stuff and ammonium nitrate, just flinging that shit everywhere, to getting horrified after we was fighting Colorado potato beetles for so long, and we had to go to the state agency and get this shit that looked like paint and stick it on the seeds. And I was like, oh my God, what if that like gave you cancer or something? It's going right into the seed. At that point, I started going hardcore on organic gardening shit. And by the time I got up here to Michigan, when I started growing cannabis, it was always, the whole time I grew it, 100% organic, period. I could try growing some vegetable stuff in the house, but it just takes too much intensity to grow some plants. Now, herbs and stuff you can, but you ain't gonna be growing peppers and tomatoes in your your grow closet or your little grow tent. It takes a little bit too much light intensity for that. Yeah, man, them heirloom variety stuff. I've still got some seeds in there. I got like a thing from Amazon. It's got like everything, even stuff that I don't eat, like celery. I got it for like, I don't know, 20, $25 or something. And it was all just heirloom varieties, non-GMO, just regular seeds, man, the way they used to be. And the cool thing is you can grow those, and then harvest the seed from those, and then just keep perpetuating it. You know what I mean? Heck yeah. I'm telling you, I've learned that over these last 4 years. I lost 50 pounds, got off all the pills, stopped eating a lot of the crap. My body just totally works different. Stopped smoking cigarettes, even though I got that vape thing, it doesn't bother me the same way. It's really wild. And you can. It's like your whole body detoxifies so much so that if like I go and eat a little bit of McDonald's, it ain't like that made me feel kind of It's more like, oh God, my body's like, it's going, get that out of me, get that out of me. What was that? you know. I mean, even milk. It's like, yeah, I go in there and drink a glass of milk, see what happens. I'm gonna be laying down in the bed going, why did I do that? It's trippy, man. I'm telling you, that's the way it is, man. And it's like that thing I seen the other day when I was getting stuff for video. Eat your medicine. Exactly. wild lettuce, man. It's just some crazy weed growing thing. You can condense that down to look basically like RSO, like used as far as the cannabis stuff, just a raw black oil. And they said that the properties of that, and I know somebody that actually used it in California, and she says true. It's a strong like using morphine or something, but it will not get you high or make you feel weird or nothing. It's basically a weed. I've seen it grow around in places, but I won't harvest it because yeah, I'm in city areas, man. Like this apartment complex, literally a four-wheeler and like a 50-gallon container, spraying Roundup. Guy's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, spraying Roundup everywhere. I'm like, oh Lord. Yeah, I didn't even want to take my dog outside the grass that day. It was like crap, man. But that's what's happening. That's why there's been people for some time doing these projects everywhere and doing stuff. Rehabbing land, going organic. That's why I'm headed that direction. More and more of this stuff's going to happen, and it's eventually going to get to the point to where the the things are not going to be the same the way they are. They won't be able to. You know, nobody wants to buy poison, so the whole system's just going to change. Things are going to go back to the way they were before we had chemicals in the world, and that was using plants for food, for medicine. Instead of going, oh, let's chemically reproduce food and let's chemically reproduce medicine. Why? When it's already available in nature? Well, there's an easy answer to that: money. Same thing as far as, let's say I call myself a healer. I help you with something. I'm not going to look at you and tell me, well, you got to pay me 20 grand, go into debt and die over it. Two chickens and a goat, get back with me later. Whatever. And I know people would argue, well, modern medicine costs a lot of money. Yeah, that's why. There's modern medicine and half these stupid machines. Sure, some of this stuff is helpful, but this whole entire pharmaceutical industry, nah, it's not. It's not needed. You know. Hey, what's up, Jen? Put my glasses on, see what that says. Yeah, they'll be all right though. There's a lot of them young ones that are quite awake. A lot of them being born that way too. But yeah, everybody's always in prayers. At least here in the Church of Love, you say prayers, I'm on it. You say send love, I'm on it. You say send good vibes, I'm on it. And I guarantee you, anybody listening to this say the same thing. You know, wouldn't be here if you wasn't that way. True, people who are not truly loving beings do not hang around my broadcasts. I mean, if you're not in a high vibe, why would you want to sit here and listen to people talk about peace and love and stuff? uh, man, almost. If I had some teeth, I'd want some salsa and chips now. I got enough teeth to chew up the chips. Well, yeah, I don't want to stress what's left in there. State denied me dentures because they gave me a partial a couple years ago after some dental place screwed my teeth around a bit. They never did fit right. Long story. Anyways, I think I should pray for the whole world. Pray that those that are ready to awaken and want to awaken and get away from the system, that they do. That they find people like us that they can talk to, Feel normal about stuff. Pray that those that don't want to awaken don't harm anyone in the process of whatever they're doing. And just make sure we cover the whole thing, man. Everybody, you know, all the way from the young people and having to discern different things to ones that have been abducted, killed, murdered. Prayers to anybody who needs them. Love to anybody who needs it. Yep. Well, anyways, we're down to two people here. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out for now. I should probably make something to eat. I just been munching on like granola and other things today, so yeah, I might need to make a meal. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Yeah. So, great day or evening, whatever it is, in your little part of our great big world. And remember, we are conscious evolution. Peace and love. I'll talk to you later.